there everyone, it's Misty here. Welcome back to the Stamp Anything YouTube channel. In today's video, we are coloring Strawberry from the Strawberry Shortcake release for July 2024. If you have not picked up this release, I need to look to see if there's anything available. If it is, I will have it linked down below. My links are affiliate links, so I earn a very small commission if you use those links to shops. And if you do, thank you very much. So we are making a shaker card. I'm going to be sharing with you some paper piecing and stuff. I had so much fun with this card and I had the perfect paper to go with it. So yeah, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. You may have noticed that we are posting way more content over here. It's not just me anymore. It's all of us leading the charge. So be sure to subscribe and leave comments on the videos. That helps us get out there and hopefully we can make our goal, or my goal, of 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll see how we do. So yeah, let's head over to the craft table. I'll walk you through how I made this really fun Strawberry Shortcake card. And yeah, let's get started. All right, friends, I'm going to be stamping her 4 different times. For some reason, I thought I wanted to give no line coloring a go. So I'm stamping in this really light kind of brown ink. And then I'm stamping in a regular black ink. Spoiler alert, I have decided that I have given no line coloring plenty of chances and it's not something that I enjoy. So I am going to be stamping her on my Copic paper. I like the 100-pound Hammermill 100-pound white cardstock for this. And then I went through my massive collection of pattern paper and found 2 kind of pink and white polka dots. Now the light pink that has the heart cut out of it actually isn't polka dots. It's little hearts. That's a paper from Doodlebug. You guys know I love Doodlebug, obsessed with Doodlebug. And then the other one is just a pink with white polka dots. But you can see it's a little bit of a deeper pink. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp on both. And I do it with both inks. So I cut out a lot of that. But I'm going to clean off my stamps first before I do this so I don't get ink everywhere. And of course, I messed up the first couple of times. It's what I do. Now, for some reason, I got it in my head, even though I have the literal doll right in front of my face. I got it in my head that her apron was also pink. So that's why you see me stamping so much of the doll or of the girl onto the pattern paper. If I'd remembered, I would have just stamped the hat, but I put half her body because I was just thinking that for some reason she had it on her apron too, and she doesn't. But Custard, the little kitty cat, is pink with white polka dots. So that's why I stamped the cat on each of them. Then Anne has provided this little tiny strawberry that's meant to go in the hat. So I stamped that and just made sure I had an uneven number. You guys know I like to work in odds. So I always keep a scrap piece of paper to the side. You can see this is apricot. I was practicing Timothy's technique of you use a white Faber-Castell pencil on the pupil and then you go over it with a colored pencil and then you add your dots and stuff. And I've tried that a couple of times, but I was too scared to do it on this one because I'd already colored all of her and I was like, I'm not redoing this. I'm not going to. So I am adding Copic coloring to the hat. And this is a fun way to make the hat look dimensional, even though it is a piece of pattern paper. Now it will soak through and that's okay because we're going to be cutting it out anyway. But for this darker color, I believe I'm using RV 13, 21, and 20. Yeah, those are RV 13, 23, and 21. That's my favorite pink combo at the moment. And then for the next pattern, because it is a bit deeper, I start with RV 23 and then just do RV 23 and RV 21 because it's lighter. But on that darker pink, I wanted to add a bit more. And I'm basically just kind of outlining it and then bringing the shading in just a little bit. And you can see I've stamped this very many times, like I said. And I still will probably do something with the other black one that I have. I may create another card using them or try to incorporate all of them on one card. I haven't really decided. We'll have to wait and see. And I may even do that on the Jolly Fit Off channel. So I'm using the same skin color combo that I used last week. I'm using E21, 51, and 50. I'm going to play around with this one because I want to add a bit more contrast between the three. This one is a little samey. So you'll see me play with that over the next couple of weeks. I'm always playing with different skin tones. I love variety. Variety is the spice of life, but especially for coloring. And like I went ad nauseum last week about how coloring is very personal. You have to do what you think looks best. And there's so many different color combos to choose from. So here I am just doing it on the same thing on the no line coloring. And again, I love other people's projects when they do this, and I hate mine. This is not the first time I've tried it, and I have never liked anything that I've done. So I think that's a sign to let the other artist do their thing, and I will just continue to use the black lines because I prefer those. But here you can see, again, I'm doing the exact same thing I did with the black lined image. And I don't know. I just don't like it. And maybe because it looks so unfinished and it's like I can't picture what it's going to look like without it. I'm a very concrete learner like that. But yeah, I thought I would leave it in just so you could see what it looks like, etc. And Anne has drawn cute little freckles on them, and I love it. So for my R's, I'm using R 46, 35, and 43. And here I realized that for some reason I thought at the back that was her hair, but it's not. It's the bottom of the cap. So I left it like this because I was like, oh, I'm going to put the cap on top of it. But again, I ended up not using it. And you can see here, I'm really struggling with where to place the color and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it. So her shirt, she's kind of wearing an apron over a dress. So her dress is red and her apron is white and it has green diamonds at the bottom. And I did not put the diamonds on. I think Timothy did. Tim on his sample, but I tried with a pencil and I'm like, Misty, you're going to screw it up. Misty, you're going to screw it up. Stop it. So here I forgot that I didn't color custard, but I'm doing the same thing I did to her hair. I mean, not her hair, her hat. I'm just going in and adding some shading to give it a bit more dimension. So it's not just a flat piece of paper. And I love these characters. You guys know I've gone on ad nauseum about Strawberry Shortcake, but I really love Anne's take on them. I think they turned out fantastic. I love them so much. And again, I'm just using the exact same colors. Here I brought in RV02 to kind of fill it in a little bit so it wouldn't be quite so dark. But yeah, so cute. And I thought I shared the doll that I have, but I didn't. But I'm missing the cat. I just need the cat for the original doll. So here I'm bringing in the red to color the strawberries. I was going to try RV25, but that pen is dead. So I need to order a new one. And I'm just going to I don't order refills anymore. I just order a new pen. Because sometimes you order a refill and you go to refill the pen and the sponge in the middle is dried out and then they're just dead. So now I'm out a marker and I have a refill for a marker that I can't use. So I've just started buying the singles and I get mine from Scrapbook Pal. She's pretty comparable to Dick Blick and she ships faster. And it's a small business, so I like to support them. And plus, I was on their design team a couple of times. So, yeah. So, for the green, I brought in YG25. I brought in one of the same greens I used on Mint Tulip because these characters all basically kind of have the same color palette throughout. And I wanted to keep with that theme. And again, I'm just adding the color to all of the hats that I stamped because like I said, I may go back and make another couple of cards using them. I really wanted to bring in some plaid paper with this and I didn't. You're going to see me play with it in a little bit. So here I'm just putting it down, making sure I like the look at it. And I went ahead and added stripes because her stockings are green and white striped. And I was like, I'm going to add like a marker. And I was like, Misty, just draw some lines. It'll be fine. And then her shoes are brown, so I added a little bit of brown to her shoes. And then for the apron, I brought in my lightest I think it did E quadruple zero or E triple zero for her apron, just to add a little bit of color. For the hat, I cut it out. I did not go around it with a black marker because I knew that I was going to cut it out with the dye. So I wasn't concerned about that. And then I cut the little bitty pieces for the back, and you can see me adding those there. And I love this so very much. Okay, so her hair, and again, I had the doll in front of me. Her hair is more like a coppery red. And so I was playing with the colors that I wanted to bring in. And you can see here, I ended up with E09, YR 18, 27, and 24. Now, I have down 4 colors, but I think I ended up only using 3 of them. The original doll, like the original cartoon doll, actually has yarn hair. And it's like a curly yarn. And I was tempted to go in and add lines to the hair strokes that Anne has drawn, but I decided to skip that part. I was like, no, just color like you normally would. I have a million different ideas, and I'm like, Misty, stop it. Just go in like you normally would. So I may end up playing with that look and see how it turns out. But yeah, the original doll, the original cartoon character had ringlet yarn curls, and I thought it looked so cute. And so I'm just flicking the darkest color to the lightest color, kind of leaving a little bit of a highlight. I've mentioned before that I'm not someone who likes a really dark, deep, contrasting, not dark and deep, a white highlight in the hair. So I don't do that. Yeah. So I'm going to cut her out, and then I forgot I needed to cut out Custard before I cut him out. So I'm just going to add the dyes, and then I'm going to go back and cut out the cat, and we're going to get him glued to his little piece, and then I'll get them both. And I was like, Misty, just cut it out. Cut it out with scissors. So once I'll get those once I've gotten those die cuts, oh my word. I wanted to bring in some red glitter. So I have some gel glitter pens, and I was just testing which one was closest. So I'm just going over the actual red part of the strawberries and adding some glitter pen words. Okay, so I'd already pulled some paper out for this. If you guys don't follow me on my regular channel, I have been doing a project all year about using up my stuff. Project Use Your Stuff, Project Use It Up. I don't remember what I called it. But I have 4 pads of paper that I wanted to use up by the end of the year. And this is actually some of the paper that was in those pads. I'm also trying to use up what I've already used and like what I have left over. So you're going to see me pull in a lot of different die cut things just to see what I wanted. Now, I was trying to keep with the color palette of red, pink, and green because that's her color palette. And I was just trying to find paper that would work. So this paper, the bottom paper is actually a strawberry print. That red is actually strawberry, like a strawberry skin, like the skin of a strawberry, where it's red with the yellow seeds. And I was like, ooh, I want to use that one for the word die. So there are 2 parts to the word die. You have kind of the outline of it, the kind of shadow of it, and then you have the actual word. And here you can see the plaid that I wanted to pull in. Listen, if I could put plaid paper everywhere, I would. And I think I have 15 different packs of plaid paper. Don't judge me. Listen, if I could have 15 Argyle and 15 houndstooth to go along with, I sure would have them. I sure would. So I was playing around with this, and then I was like, you know what? I think I really want to make a shaker card. So I'm bringing in this piece of paper is from scrapbook.com. They've started having their own collection, and you can get one of their paper pads that's actually 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So the biggest die in the card layer dies from Stamp Anything, which I think they may have retired, is for the front of a card. So you see me adding the washi tape from the back. That way I can go ahead and have it cut out with a die just to have the stitching. And then I'm putting a smaller rectangle in the middle, and that's going to create my frame for a shaker. Fun fact, I already made this card, and I made the frame too small, and I had to remake it. So that's what we're doing. For the word sweet, I am bringing in some adhesive, double-sided adhesive paper because the font is so thin. I knew that I would get glue everywhere. So I'm basically making this die cut into a sticker, and that's just easiest for me. And several people make double-sided adhesive sheets. Sizzix has some. I just got mine off of Amazon. So I'm bringing in one of the A2 shaker pockets. Now, I have discovered, or at least for me, I prefer to cut my paper down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 to go in that pouch. But first, let's do the sticker for the word sweet. I love this font. It's so pretty. I would give me every word in this font. I actually think Anne has a bunch of words in this font, but it's so fun. And I love I just love it. Seriously, I love cursive. I hate that they're not teaching it in schools any longer. It's like, what are we doing? How's somebody supposed to sign their name? What are we doing? So anyway, here you can see I didn't have to add any glue to it or anything. I'm just using it as a sticker, and down it goes. And it's really quick. And yeah, it's not... Some of the paper is it's where you put it is where it's going to be. But luckily this one I was able to move around because I didn't stick it down all the way right away. So here we go. I'm making sure that my frame is going to fit. And then I'm going to bring in an extra piece of paper. I'm going to cut my inside paper down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. You could also do 4 by 5 1/4 if you wanted a little bit of a bigger border. But I brought in a sheet, just a scrap sheet of paper, because there's always something on my mat. And I didn't want to take off the film on this and then get something from my mat onto the acetate. So I am using a scratched piece of paper, removing the protective film. Why is that so satisfying? When I get a brand new eyeshadow palette, I'm always excited to take the film off the mirror. And it's why do we like that so much? So one hint I would give you is to go ahead and fold your sides before you take the adhesive off. That just allows them to bend a little bit and it makes them a little bit easier. Now you can see that there is some room when you do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, but I found that having a regular size, I was having too much bowing, and maybe that's just me. I don't know. So this is a mix that I got off Amazon. It's got strawberries and hearts and balls. I tried to get most of the balls out because they add too much bulk. And then if you've never seen me make a shaker card before, I did some diamond painting last year. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all these drills? And Timothy, again, shared that he uses them in shaker cards. And I'm like, that is genius. So anytime I make a shaker card, I bring in some of the drills from diamond painting to add in. And then here is what it looks like. It makes it super simple. You don't have to fuss around with acetate. You don't have to fuss around with double-sided adhesive, etc. Okay, so I'm putting this on a regular card base that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 11, score it at 5 1/2 to make an A2 size card. For the back, I'm going to go ahead and just use regular tape adhesive. For the frame, you're going to want something that is super sticky. So I'm using score tape, tearing tape, score tape. It's just super strong and sticks better than liquid glue would. Plus liquid glue, I would get it everywhere, and then that would defeat the purpose of all of this. So yeah. I'm just peeling off the backer, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me go ahead and get this adhered. And I start by trying to use some liquid adhesive, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to use tape runner. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to get this on the card, make sure that it's all lined up, and we're good to go. And then I'm going to tear off the backer sheet of the score tape. Now, I don't know if I showed it, or if I did, it probably went by, but I put this tape down, then I burnished it with the bone folder, and then I take the backing off. And then I had to make sure it was going the right way because this pattern goes up and down, and I had to make sure that it was going in the right way. So here's kind of the layout of what I had in mind. So I'm going to attach this sweet word with some liquid glue. And here I was like, does she need something behind her? I even brought in a green hexagon. And I was like, does she need something behind her? And I was like, no, she looks fine. So I'm going to get the word down with some glue. And then I'm going to bring in some Scotch mounting foam for her and for Custard. So I'm just going to cut up a piece and get it adhered, both of them. And then I'm going to bring in some Nouveau shimmer pen to add some shimmer to the word sweet and to Custard, the cat, and her dress. So here I'm just cutting it. I'm sorry that I'm out of frame. And I'm sorry that my mat went crooked. I'm like, how is it crooked? What did I do? Because normally it's under my marker case and it doesn't move. But clearly I've done something. Either that or I bumped the camera and the camera's crooked. Something's crooked and I apologize. But luckily it's just for this little clip and it's not the whole entire thing. So just taking off the backer sheet. Here you can see I'm still wearing the small brace for this. I'm still wearing my big brace. I need to just buckle down and go to the doctor. I really do. But once I add that, that's done. So that is the end of the video, and that's the card. Didn't she turn out so cute? I love her so much. And here's a look at her in real time. You can see the shaker part shaking around. And here she is with her counterpart. So yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Stamp Anything YouTube channel. You can find the link to this release in the description box down below. I also have the markers I use listed down below. Be sure to check out our social media. The Facebook group is linked, Facebook page, and our Instagram. So I will see you next Friday for another Fanny Friday, but we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.